Good morning. Greetings from Chile. Friends, teachers, and students from Beijing, good evening. Welcome to the webinar HSK 3.0 Informative Talk Update on Standards and Requirements organized by the CLAC and LAC Regional Center. This webinar will be in Chinese with simultaneous interpretation into Spanish, English, and Portuguese. You can select your language at the bottom of your screen. Before we start, we invite you to leave comments and questions in the Q&A section at the bottom of your screen. And also, we would like to remind you that all of our seminars are going to be recorded and published on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe to our channel and to stay informed about events. And please follow us on our social media accounts. Good morning to all the attendees joining today's virtual webinar on behalf of CLAC LAC Regional Center. We are extending warm greetings to all of you. Our center is dedicated to teaching the Chinese language with the public and private institutions, national, local governments, as well as higher education, secondary and primary schools. Today, we are gathered here for a topic of great importance to the entire community dedicated to the study of our language. We are meeting to begin the HSK 3.0 informative talk update on the standards and requirements. As many of you know, HSK is the official and fundamental tool for international certification. It is the bridge that allows thousands of students to objectively validate their Chinese language proficiency, whether it is to apply for scholarships, enter universities, or open new professional horizons. Certifying your Chinese language proficiency is essential. Learning Chinese is a rewarding challenge, and having this official standard motivates us to continue progressing. Over the past few years, we have seen how Chinese language teaching has evolved and grown throughout our region. Consequently, the evaluation system also had to be transformed to reflect these new and demanding global educational realities. This year, 2026, marks the culmination of the necessary change that has been underway with great effort. It is during 2026 that the long-awaited HSK 3.0 exam will be implemented on a massive scale. This entire update was designed with the steadfast purpose of refining and raising the educational quality standards. With this renewed format, we seek an evaluation that is much more precise and aligned with the actual needs of the students. We understand that any transition process generates high expectations and understandable concerns within our academic and institutional community. Therefore, our platform is intended for testing centers, institutions that teach Chinese, teachers, students, and the general public. Our main objective is to clarify key questions about the exam and to introduce this regulatory update. We want to provide you with peace of mind and the necessary informative tools so that you can approach this new standard with absolute confidence. With these thoughts, we would like to thank you for your attendance. And now I would like to invite Madam Ran Huiqiao, the Director of LAC Regional Center, to brief us about our speaker, Madam Xie Nini. Thank you, Robert, for your introduction. In the past few days, and people are paying a great attention to the reforms of HSK, particularly about 3.0. Our regional center has received a lot of questions. So this is a long-awaited presentation and webinar. Today, we're very pleased to have with us Madam Xie Nini, Deputy Director of the Test Development and Design at the Chinese Test Service, which is primarily responsible for the development and preparation of exams such as the HSK, the HSKK, and YCT. She has many years of experience in Chinese language test design and research on related topics. And also, she's also one of the important reformers for HSK test. I believe that this is going to be a very rewarding uh, presentation for all of you. Now, Madam Xie, you have the floor. Um, Good morning and good evening, Robert and Madam Ran. So because it is the evening in Beijing time, so I'm Xie Nini from the Chinese Test Center Service. So it's my great pleasure to brief you about HSK 3.0 exam. I hope that my briefing will help you understand more about this test so that you are not going to be scared about the exam, to be afraid of the exam, to fear that it can be more difficult. So I hope that we can have good communication, and I hope after my presentation, I have time to address your questions. Now I'm going to start the presentation. So the theme of the today's topic is about HSK 3.0. It was initiated in 2022. In 2020, four, we have finished the development and the research, and in 2025, it has been formally launched. But during the process, we have come to know that a lot of students and teachers who care about the exam, they have a lot of questions. So here, I'm going to adopt the format of Q&A to brief you about our new version of HSK exam. So first is what is new with HSK 3.0? And secondly, how is the scientific nature of HSK 3.0 reflected? And what is supporting teaching resources for HSK 3.0? And the fourth question is how can I get the exam content for 3.0? I hope that by answering these four questions, you are going to understand the in-depth understanding about research and the development of HSK 3.0. The first question, what is new with 3.0? So we are going to mention about 2.0 or 1.0 of HSK. So as to the history, so HSK was launched in 1984. By 1991, by 1991, it was formally launched around the globe. That is the phase for HSK 1.0. It is lasting until 2009 with the change of the international situation and the establishment of a lot of Confucius Institutes. We have got a lot of feedbacks. The 1.0 version is too challenging and difficult for students, and the grades and the bands are very few. So since 2007, we prepared the development and research for 2.0 version. So in November 2009, we formally launched HSK 2.0. In 2010, it was formally launched globally. So that is about HSK 2.0. So current the level 1 to level 6, we are very familiar. This actually is the HSK 2.0. So during the implementation of the test and the exam, and we have won a lot of popularity among teachers and students. In total, we have more than 7 million exam takers. So that reflects the popularity of HSK. And during the process, we have got a lot of feedback from the teachers and the students. People are still puzzled and concerned about the exam in 2021. And the grade standard of international Chinese language education was launched as the first international standard. Now, with the new situation, we are reflecting about the reform about HSK 2.0 because we come across a lot of new issues with the new international settings based on our feasibility studies and also surveys and the feedback from the test takers and teachers, and also discussion with the test and assessment evaluation experts from home and abroad after the preparation in 2025. Now we formally launched HSK 3.0 version. So this is about the history of HSK. As to 3.0, the biggest concern is that what is the change and what has not been changed? What is new with this 3.0 version? So with 2.0, so 3.0 is an inheritance, optimization, and upgrading of the current HSK aimed to meet the diverse needs of learners and assess learners' Chinese communication skills in a more scientific and accurate way. So there are different new aspect as to 3.0 version. I'm going to brief them one by one. So the first one is the systematic restructuring. So we have level 1 to level 6, and we got 3 grades and a 9-level system. And we have built a Chinese assessment system covering all levels of the junior, middle, and high levels, intermediate and high levels. And the second new thing is the upgrade of the syllabus. So the topic, task, content, and language quantitative indicators are vertically graded and horizontally corresponded. We have further promote the effective connections of teaching, learning, and application, and provide a clear and quantifiable basis for exam propositions, textbook writing, and learning path planning. And the third new change is that we focus on application, be it 2.0 or 3.0. We have the orientation of Chinese communication ability assessment, and we create a lot of real communication scenarios, enrich the dimensions of the examination, expand the breadth and depth of the topics, and measure Chinese communication skills in 3 dimensions. And also the fourth change is the upgrade of the test experience. We optimize the types of questions, reduce the number and the duration of the exam, and adjust the listening speed to bring candidates a new experience. So as to current one, we have newly added level 7 to level 9. So this is the optimization of the current level 1 to level 6 system. So level 1 to level 3 is the primary level, and 4 to 6 is the intermediate, and 7 to 9 is the advanced level. Now, for level 1 to level 3 to test learners' ability to use Chinese to communicate in daily life, while level 4 to level 6 is to test the learners' ability to use Chinese to communicate in work and academic scenarios accurately. For 7 to 9 is to examine learners' ability to use Chinese in in-depth professional and academic communication.
But for levels 7 to 9, there is one paper for 3 levels, including listening, reading, writing, translation, and speaking, 200 minutes. And also, we also might be able to reduce the number of the testing items. And the levels 7 to 9 meet the high-end learners that those study Chinese so that they can study for PhDs and master's degree programs in China and Chinese language majors in different countries and people learning Chinese to have academic research, economic, cultural, and technological exchanges. So it's already 3 years, and there are tries such a test every year. So after such a stability of administering the testing, so the number of subscribers also keeps increasing, and so the testing scores also are acknowledged by more and more universities and colleges. The second part of the reconstruction of the system is about the speaking test. The structure also has been adjusted. So previously, the speaking test had elementary, intermediate, and advanced levels, so 3 levels. And after the reform for version 3.0, and we have levels 3 to 6. That's level 3, level 4, level 5, and level 6 for the speaking test. So if you sign up for the testing of the levels from 3 to 6, you can also sign up for the same levels of the speaking test. So the assessment of your speaking skill will be more accurate and scientifically based. So for the optimized HSK speaking test, and this is the format, and there are also some noticeable changes in terms of the format of the speaking test. We don't have a big variety, so the formats are more stable. Why? Why do we have a stability of the formats? Because we want to reduce the burden for preparing for the cross-level exams, and you should focus upon your oral communicative ability. And so you could see there are 3 formats of the speaking test. And so for levels 3 to 6, there are some slight differences of the formats, but they are about listening and repeat and then retell and the picture description and the Q&As. And also for level 3, it's listening and repeat. For the speaking test, you will listen to a short sentence actually, because you are an elementary learner, and so therefore you just listen to a short sentence and then you repeat. But for the speaking test from levels 4 to 6, you will listen and then you need to retell, and you will listen to a minute conversation, a minute topic, and then you need to retell. And you are also allowed to take notes when listening. And it's a retell, not a repeat. That is to say, you don't need to remember exactly every word. You can actually use your own Chinese words, your own Chinese vocabulary to retell. And so the format, I think, is also very good. And also for the speaking test, the number of the items of testing has been reduced. For the elementary testing in the past, it was 27, and then more for the intermediate and advanced levels. But this time, for the speaking test from levels 3 to 6, the number of the items has been reduced, and the duration of the testing also has been reduced by 2 or 3 minutes. So it's about the reconstruction of the system. And then a second new in this is about the upgrading of the syllabus. And so for 2.0, there were 4 components, but now there are 5 components of the tested syllabus, including task, topic, vocabulary, grammar, and the Chinese characters. For these 5 components, it's about the scope of the testing and also the priorities of the testing. They are also the basis for the design of the tests. So how do we design the test questions and items? Then you need to refer to the HSK testing syllabus. The syllabus already was published upon the Chinese test service website in November last year. And so the 5 components of the syllabus, as I have told you, they are the task, topic, vocabulary, grammar, and the characters. So they have 9 levels, and also there is a vertical upgrading and also the horizontal alignment. And so for example, for the grammar and the vocabulary, they also are aligned with each other in the same level. So we believe it's more scientifically based quantitative indicators. Professor Huang from Beijing Normal University is one of the main editors of the testing syllabus. And so how do we do the R&D for the testing syllabus? And Professor Huang has published a paper upon the Journal of International Chinese Education, the first edition of 2026. So you can read Professor Feng Liping's paper. And then you better know how we did the R&D for the testing syllabus. And I know many of you are interested in the vocabulary syllabus. And for level 1, you could see that for the previous HSK, level 1 only has a vocabulary of 150, but now in 3.0 version it's 300. And for level 6, and the newly added words also 1,800. And so you could see that if you compare level 1 version 2.0 and 3.0, so the 3.0 version has doubling of the vocabulary. So in that way, you might interpret it that for the HSK 3.0, it's more difficult as the vocabulary requirements almost have doubled upon the basis of the HSK 2.0. Well, don't understand it in such a straightforward manner. Actually, when I introduce our HSK testing to you, I'm also frequently asked this question. Sorry, I need to cough again, sir. For the HSK 3.0 reform, the optimization is to make the design of the testing more scientifically based rather than to increase the difficulty. In fact, increasing the difficulty is not our purpose because our HSK is always learner centered. Second, and also for the difficulty level of the test, well, there are multiple dimensions of your language competency, and the difficulty is also determined by multiple dimensions, not only by the dimension of vocabulary. For the HSK 3.0, it complies with the grading standards. There are three assessment dimensions that communicative capability, the topic, task, and the content, and linguistic quantitative indicators. And so there are multiple dimensions to assess your Chinese proficiency. And in terms of the quantifiable indicators, there are four sub-dimensions, including syllabus, characters, vocabulary, and grammar. And only a single dimension or a single sub-dimension is not enough to fully determine your proficiency of the language. And the multiple dimensions need to work together. And very straightforwardly, for our newly added vocabulary, actually, is it purely new? I don't think so. For example, for the HSK 3.0 vocabulary, in fact, the majority of the words are from the 2.0, but there is adjustment and optimization because the society changes very fast, and therefore the vocabulary also needs to change in the dynamic manner. And for some words in the vocabulary, as time goes by, maybe are no longer so frequently used. And also, as we have new technologies and new phenomena, some new words are created. Hence, the vocabulary should not be static. For example, in 3.0, we have removed some not very frequently used words. Rather, we have added such as 高铁 high-speed trains, AI 人工智能, or 外卖, that's food, fast home delivery, etc. And we have added some very contemporary words that are almost affecting our daily life in China. And also in our vocabulary, although some words seem to be new, they were not available in 2.0, but in fact, you can find their origins in the 2.0 because we have two ideas. First, we need both the characters and the words. In the Chinese language, words are made up of the different characters. And so when you put different characters together, they can have a new meaning. So in HSK 3.0, maybe some students will argue that you have added a lot of new words. We also have listened to the vocabulary experts, and so for the restructured default words and also reduced default words and exceptional words, some of them are included in 3.0. For example, 打电话, that's make a phone call, and 打 is equivalent to make. So, in fact, the two words were available in 2.0, but we have combined them, 打 and 电话 in 3.0. So these words could be the words restructured from the previous HSK 2.0. That is to say, a lot of so-called new words in the 3.0 vocabulary, in fact, are based upon 2.0. And also, another scientific element is the focus upon application, and we insist that the students' communicative capability is very important, and therefore we set up more real communication scenarios. We have more dimensions of assessment. We expand both the depth and also breadth of the topics. And so, for example, for the listening, the materials include news reports, business negotiations, debates, interviews, documentaries, and also scientific literature papers, investigation reports, and also articles about China, etc. So the scope has been very much being expanded. And also, let me talk about a new experience. So for 3.0, we have optimized the format. We have reduced the number of items and the duration. We also have changed the listening speed. For our reform, and our syllabus itself has been upgraded, and also there is optimization of the testing items because we have reviewed the data from the previous years of testings, and some testing items could not quite tell the different levels of proficiency of the learners, and we choose and maintain the formats which can be more accurately assessing your capability, which also are well received. And also,
So with the optimization of for the test question type, so as to level 1 HSK, so we have got a very minimal changes. The quantity of the questions has not been changed. So we add a new type. Apart from that, we have basically maintained the previous question types, and the difficulty level remains the same to ensure the higher pass rate. Well, for level 8, level 3, level 2, we got this Chinese character writing. So this is the writing. So this is the part which has attracted a lot of feedbacks and debates. So we have absorbed these input from the experts and the academic community. So we have optimized this part in HSK2. You can see from level 2 to level 6. So you can see in level 2, there are two parts. So there are 10 questions. So it is writing. So we hope that we can have the good orientation because the Chinese language has a lot of beautiful characters. It represents part of the Chinese culture, so it is an important part of Chinese language learning in our research and in a survey. So in level 2, we have added the writing part. People feel that this part is very difficult. So to balance the actual needs and the actual difficulty, so we put it here. Actually, it is a multiple choice question. So this is to test about the structure of the Chinese characters. You don't have to write, but you need to be able to recognize those parts of the Chinese character and combine them together. And the second part is about the writing part, actually. So these are those characters which are very important, but also very easy to write with a very simple strokes. So this is the writing part for HSK level 3. So we have deleted the previous questions, and we maintained the question and sentence making based on the picture. So this has got a higher requirements because you have to make a sentence. So this is conforming to the positioning of HSK level 3 about writing so that we are required to write a complete sentence, not simply write a Chinese character. So if you have mastered 1,000 Chinese characters to write a simple Chinese sentence, this is the requirement you must be able to meet for level 3. So this page is about the writing for level 5 to level 6. So to writing based on the picture. So this is the optimized question type. So previously you are going to refer to only one picture, but we got a feedback that those test takers can write in a variety of ways. So there are a lot of problems. Now we put more pictures uh, to help these test takers to write the content contained in this picture to ensure that the testing is is fairer. And for level 6, and we give them a lot of prompts for these students so that students can have a lot of contents to write about. So we give them a topic about an occurring in the daily life or about their person they respect, for example, so that the test takers will have a lot of things to write about. So, well, good feedback about the writing, about their writing is that it's about the modern applied writing. So for applied writing, you've learned a right language. The purpose is to use it. So you, for example, you want to send a message to your friend, or if you want to communicate in writing with your teachers via email, so you want to write an email. All these are the actual application scenarios. So this is more is closer to the reality, and because this can be used in their daily life. So this is the new change. So during this process, we have got a survey. So for the writing part, we got the 98% recognition. The test takers are very happy with this this change. As to the 101 type, it was to test people's memory. So we got a feedback that we needed to design some real life scenarios. So we have optimized this part in level 6. And the third part is that we have reduced the number of questions. For level 1, it is about your capability of listening and reading out on those simple uh, topics. And for level is about the reading and writing skills test. Well, for level 3 to level 5 is about the skills in listening, reading, and writing. So level 1 to level 2, the number of questions remains one in 1 hour. So in 40 minutes until 6 minutes, 60 minutes. So this can be a very good duration. People feel very comfortable with it. Well, for level 3 to level 4 until 6. So when we're maintaining the validity and the efficacy of the test, we have optimized those number of questions. So only with the 70 to 80 questions, so we got the 0.94 validity scores. So reduce the number of questions will make um, the the test takers feel very user friendly. Well, for level 3 to level 6, we have reduced 10 to 20 minutes of the test hours. And the third change is about the change of the listening speech speed adjustment. So if you have passed HSK 1 to 1, if you listen to the audio, so level 1 to level 2 is a kind of inspirational test so that test takers are inspired and encouraged to learn this language. Do not be scared by the language. Very slow. For example, level 1, then the first type is to listen to a phrase. For example, 很高兴. It's like this, a very mechanical 很高兴. So the speed is less than 100 words per minute. So it's not conforming to the actual daily communication. People do not speak like that. So we have readjusted the speech speed. So to make it more natural, that does not mean that the speed is very fast. So level 1 to level 2, so it is the slow but the regular speed. So it is about 很高兴, not 很高兴. So this is more natural. So it is has a very good listening experience for daily communication. Well, for level 3 listening, it is close to the normal daily regular speech speed. So for level 4, this is the normal speed. For level 5 to level 6, speech speed is relatively a little bit faster compared with the version 2.0. It is even slower than level 5 and level 6 in 2.0 because level 6 is now changed to the intermediate band. So it has the speed actually has been lowered. So you can see there are 4 new changes. Well, we have a lot of unchanges. So I want to mention one thing is that so the authority of HSK has not been changed. So we are coming to the 3.0. So what about its efficacy? So I'm very formally to inform you that the recognition and authority will remain consistent with version 2.0 because HSK score is the must-have language certificate for international students to get enrolled in the Chinese universities. The vast majority Chinese university requires HSK test scores. Well, for different universities and different subjects or majors, or you are in the master's degree or in the bachelor's degree application, there are different levels of the HSK scores. So you need to refer to the requirements for enrollment or recruitment at different Chinese universities. So actually, the level 3 and the level 4 is the basic threshold for the enrollment. And also, HSK score is an important credit point if we want to apply a work visa in China. And also, a lot of China countries has incorporated HSK into their curriculum in secondary and primary schools to make it as the foreign language proficiency certificate for the entrance examination for universities. So that is a high level of recognition of HSK score. So that is about the first question. So what are new for version 3.0? I tell you what has changed and what has not changed. And the second question is about how you are so sure that version 3.0 is very sound scientifically. So in general, HSK reform is a holistic project. It has includes the basic theoretic research, syllabus development, examination propositions, implementation, marking, scoring, score interpretation, and demonstration research and other parts. So under the iceberg, we have a lot of research. Why such a syllabus? Why such a structure of the test? Based on our research and the test design in February 2025, we have got a pilot test in 30 test centers with around 600 test takers. In 2026, HSK 3.0 has entered into the global rollout phase. So we are going to collect a lot of feedbacks and input. And in January 31, HSK 3.0 has been formally implemented with more than 8,200 test takers in globally. So it covers globally 30 countries. So this is actually a wide range of pilot launch. So the final result is that the quality of the test paper is very reliable, and we got a very high level of validity. And level 1 is 0.8 and 0.9, very good validity. And also based on the number of questions, HSK level 2 until 6, and the validity is up to 0.9 and 0.93, very high level. So it is a very reliable and valid. It can help to evaluate the level and proficiency of the students. So it can reflect our the objectives of the assessments, and also with our analysis of the newly added um, question types, and the differentiation score is also very high.
And in terms of the duration and the difficulty level, we also have done the validation for the 3.0 test. The uh, the learners also have a higher level of satisfaction. And after the first global trial testing, we have the following findings. In some of the testing points in China, we have done the post-testing investigations and the surveys from the students. And for the students' feedback, the satisfaction level is 3.88, and the highest score, the full score is 5.0, and the satisfaction level for the first global trial testing is 3.88, which is relatively high. And also in terms of the duration, number of items, and also difficulty level, and the satisfaction is also high. And for the equity and also the management of the testing centers and the services, they also are highly acknowledged by the students. And they also have given us some other feedbacks. For example, for the speaking test, and the students don't know how much time is available for preparation for each of the items. So although on the instructions part of the testing, it's already specified, but students sometimes might not take a notice of it. So that is not good, because we want to test the real competency and the proficiency of the students, and therefore, based upon the students' feedbacks, we will make a micro adjustments, and then we will have the next round of a global trial testing of a 3.0. And also for the scientific nature, I have talked about R&D and the design process. Then how about the final scores of the students? And how about the rating, the grading, and also the score and analytical reports? The students and the teachers are both very interested. If you compare the score reports, they are still very similar to those of 2.0. There will be the value-added service of providing the analytical reports about the scores in 3.0, including the students' mastery of the micro skills and also their percentile grade comparison. That's to know their rankings globally. And also for the analytical reports, it will be both readable, scientifically based, personalized, and also accurate. And how do we do the rating? And there are objective items and the subjective items in the test paper. For the objective items, they are rated by the machines. And for the subjective items, there is double rating by manual labor plus expert arbitration. In fact, we will have the rating plan each time. For the subjective items raters, they will first be trained, although some of them might be very senior raters, but still every time they do the rating for the test, they must familiarize themselves with the standards again. They must sign up for training again, and only after they pass the training will they be able to be a rater again. For the qualified raters or graders, there is a double rater working together. And when the two raters marks are similar, then that will be good. But if the two raters have big differences in terms of the marks given, then when there is a request for arbitration, we will provide the expert arbitration so that the rating is more equitable, and also we can have a more accuracy of the testing results of the scores. And in the third question, I will answer, what are the complementary resources for 3.0? For the HSK 3.0, since it's still new, we are still preparing for more complementary teaching and learning resources for the students. First, of course, it's the new HSK tutorial, the textbook. For the new HSK tutorial textbook, so once, for example, if you are a learner, you have studied the textbooks, then you can sign up for the testing for the new HSK textbook series. It's very down to earth for your communication, and also it's fully aligned with the testing syllabus. For if you compare the new HSK tutorial textbook, one feature is that it's fully aligned with the 3.0 in terms of the topic, vocabulary, language prompt, topic, task, grammar, and the characters. Moreover, for the new HSK textbooks, they are from level 1 to level 9. And for levels 1 to 3, they are in a single book. And for levels 4 to 6, each level has two textbooks. For levels 7 to 9, there are five textbooks. In fact, they are about listening and speaking, and they are about reading it, etc. And also there will be the students' exercise books or workbooks. And workbooks also are a way of learning. For example, for some Chinese characters or for some syllables, maybe some do not appear in the textbooks, but they will appear in the workbooks for the students. The workbooks also are fully aligned with the testing syllable of the 3.0. So in that way, we have a better integration and alignment between teaching and learning. And also for the new HSK textbook series, another feature is a variety of digital resources. We not only have audio and video resources, we also have some content for cultural understanding. For the cultural components of the textbooks, students will be able to know the contemporary China plus our traditional culture. And that's where you also better master the language. You better understand the country behind the language. I always believe if you want to learn a language, you must understand the country's culture. So, with more cultural content in our textbooks and resources, you can accomplish that target. And for the new HSK textbook series, levels 1 to 3 already are fully published, including both the paper textbooks and the digital resources, and you can purchase them online. For the textbooks from levels 4 to 9, they will be published within this year. So I hope you can keep yourself posted. Then for the digital resources, once you have purchased the paper textbooks, the printed textbooks, you can have a free access to the digital resources by scanning on the QR code on the back cover of the textbooks. And if it's not easy for you to purchase the printed paper textbooks, or if you still prefer the digital resources, it's good you can just directly purchase the digital textbooks and resources upon the global.unipass.cm. That's the international smart education platform of the foreign language teaching and research press. And for the paper textbooks and the digital resources, they have their different advantages. Then for the channels of purchasing, I think you are also interested. In China, it's very easy to purchase the textbooks and the resources. For example, the offline stores and the e-commerce sites, Taobao and JD. And also they are available upon the Chinese testing international official shopping website. And if you are interested, you can also purchase from the Chinese testing international's official website. If you are the overseas purchaser, you can go to the local Chinese bookstores. You can go to aliexpress.com, or you can go to the book.hanfengeducation.com. And so these are the links and these are the addresses. And if you want to procure in large numbers, or if you want to have more information, you can also contact the editors from the foreign language teaching and the research press. They will give you more detailed introduction. Then how about the HSK 3.0 mock test? And so hskmock.com, you can uh, access it, and it's officially certified by Chinese Testing International. The mock tests for levels from 1 to 9 already are fully online. And also one more thing, it's about the self-adaptive learning and assessment system. And actually, it's an app because most students want to have a self-paced learning. So according to the International Chinese Education Knowledge Graph, we have used the AI technology to develop the fully HSK Chinese self-adaptive learning and assessment product. It's HSK Go. So upon App Store and Google Play, you can download this app. For the HSK Go, it's based upon the syllabus 3.0. It's also gamified. There are interesting games upon the app for you to learn and to assess your proficiency. But not only the resources for levels 1 and 2 are online on the app, and for the other levels, they are being developed, and the level 3 will soon be available upon the HSK Go. And also another question is how to have access to the 3.0 test content, including the syllabus, the structure of the test, and also the sample test items. They all are released upon the Chinese test service. That's a Chinese test.cn. You can have access to it through these websites. So as I've said, including the 3.0 test syllabus, the test structure, and the sample items of the test, very authoritative. At the same time, we are also doing R&D about the exercise books, the workbooks, and the guidebooks for teachers. So more resources are being developed. So I have already, I think, finished my presentation covering 4 questions. So thank you for your listening. And also, if you have questions, I'm more than willing to answer. I will try my best. I will also try to give you more details. Thank you.
Thank you. Just now you delivered a wonderful presentation. In the Q&A section, we have a lot of questions. Some of the questions have already answered during your presentation, but some are coming in as new questions. So there are 3 questions. First, some teachers are asking, so last year they have just taken the HSK 2.0, so their certification is still valid, right? So the score of HSK 2.0 is actually valid for 2 years. So within these 2 years of validity, it is valid. So the second one is about in the HSKK, the speaking test. What is the structure of it? Just now we have seen level 1. So you got a new design for HSKK for the oral test. So for the speaking test, level 1 and level 2 don't have the speaking test. It starts with level 3. So now it is combined is implemented together with the written test. So for level 3 speaking test, as to the question type, there are three: listen and repeat, and then make sentences after referring to a picture, and then you answer the question. And for level 4 to level 6, you got the retelling and speaking with the picture and answer the questions. So we do not have very much variation as to the question types, but the difficulty varies because they are from level 4 to level 6. So with the speaking with the uh, pictures for level 3, you are going to have five pictures. So for you need to compose one sentence for one picture. For level 4 to level 6, you are going to reach a group of pictures, and you are going to speak a lot of consistent sentences. So with different levels of difficulties. So we got similar question types, but we got different difficulties as to the different levels. The third question is about the syllabus. Level 1 to level 3, we can already download it now. Well, for the level 4 to level 9, these standards or the syllabus are going to be updated step by step. So when can we have access to those the textbook? Well, for version 3.0, all those syllabus are available online. Well, for the textbook, so we have already got these level 1 to level 3 available on market. So in August and in September, the rest of these textbooks covering the rest levels are going to be available. So actually, we have heard a lot from our teachers. People are eager to get access and use the textbooks as soon as possible. So when we are composing and develop this textbook, we have to get this feasibility studies and the research, and we need to guarantee the quality before it is available to the market. So it has been under development for already 2 years. So please wait until August and September 2026 to um, have this textbook available in the market. Thank you very much, Madam Chair. And Mia is talking about this official date of the implementation of the HSK 3.0. Please follow this official website and keep yourself posted. So just now in the presentation, you have shown us a lot of website links. Please go into those websites and have access to the contents in the official website. Now, if you have done things not yet understood, please contact us. I will remind you that last year, for those students who has already taken HSK 2.0, so you are going to know that those test scores are available and valid within 2 years. Now I'm going to invite Mr. Na Fontaine to see a few concluding remarks. Thank you, Madam Chair. Today, so late in Beijing, to give us a very clear and informative talk about HSK 3.0, what has changed, what has remained unchanged. I hope that today's presentation will help people uh, understand more about HSK 3.0, better prepared for the exam. Thank you, Madam Ran. And also, I'd like to thank all these online attendees, teachers, students, and fans of the Chinese language. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. If you have any more questions, please leave a message to us, and we're going to contact uh, Madam Chair, and also we're going to answer your questions with the Facebook and Instagram to address your questions, answer your questions. Thank you, Madam Chair. Wonderful presentations. So with the presentation, people will know more about this exam. We hope that taking this opportunity, I'd like to thank Madam Ran, Director Ran, to give me this opportunity to help more people understand this 3.0 HSK. So I hope that one day you are going to take this exam, you are going to face this new exam with more confidence. So with these new changes in the reforms, so people may be scared, but after this understanding, people will feel more reassured. Thank you for your contribution. Thank you, Madam Moran, for giving me this opportunity. Bye. Thank you.